Hey there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Alan's Collection. Today I want to do a recap of everything that's going on about the San Diego Comic-Con this year. Remember that we haven't had a physical San Diego Comic-Con for 2 years now. So it will be for me and for all of the fans really exciting. A lot of things that we have to I want to talk to you about. So there was a big amount of companies that showed up in Comic-Con, and obviously I'm not going to talk about all of those companies. I will talk a small fraction about that. So let's dive into this reaction. So let's move on to a company that brought their complete game. I'm talking about Neca. So their booth was really exciting. They brought so many lines, for example, E.T., Alf, classic Universal monsters, amongst other lines that they showed us. But of course, what I was mostly excited about was the TMNT Toon line. And boy, they did deliver. Everything about that display was absolutely exciting. So first things first is that massive display that NECA had for the TMNT Toon line. And Randy from NECA said that they have already produced, or they are producing, over 100 figures. One of the things that caught my eye was the turtle lair. It will be brought in 3 parts. For example, the kitchen, the living room, Donnie's lab. Really, really impressive. All of the details that has that lab. So a separate item that they showed was the portal. You will be able to place it in Donnie's lab. We already got a pic of that portal in the Usagi Yojimbo announcement of the figure. So of course we're here for the figures, right lads? And we have a bunch of them to talk about. For example, Dirk Savage and Mona Lisa. We already had a preview in that Sack and Smash 2-pack that we were delighted to see a few weeks ago. We saw the 4-pack of the Child Turtles that will come as an accessory pack. The thing that all fans were waiting for is the Rocksteady helmet. As well, we got a preview of Super Bebop and Super Rocksteady. I remember in the episode, these guys were called Rhino Man and Mighty Hog. We got to see Rex 1, which looks really massive. Not as big as Chrome Dome. Chrome Dome still remains the king of the Toon line. And my favorite turtle is Leonardo. I will be amazingly happy to have Lotus Blossom. And we also got to see a very distinctive figure, which is the ghost of Takahashi. And there's also Bugman, which has a cool design. So some fans were able to spot some Easter eggs in the display. And one of the most interesting was a last running figure based in that Toon line form. And also we got to see a Baxter Stockman when he got to wear the Shredder's helmet. So for the Mirage line, we got to see some figures that we already had seen a preview, like for example Casey Jones, Renee, which I have in pre-order, absolutely beautiful. The Fugitoid, which came out during the Holothon event. And you can check a review that I did for a Fugitoid in my channel. And of course, the absolutely amazing Utrom. And there are some other figures that we got to see for the first time, like the Shredder clones, Master Splinter, really, really cool. And of course, the Mirage Turtles from Jim Lawson style. And how can we not forget the massive Zog the Triceraton. So for the Archie Comics line, we saw Slash, Ray Fillet, which is one of my favorite characters, Jaguar, and Dreadmon. We also got to see figures from the Last Running universe. I actually enjoy reading the comics from the Last Running universe. Here I have my beautiful hardcover, as you can see. With the figures, we already had seen the armored and unarmored versions of the Last Ronin, but we did get to see new figures like Raphael, Leonardo, and Senior. Lastly, for the TMNT line, we got to see a mashup of the Universal Monsters and TMNT crossover. So we saw Raphael as Frankenstein's monster, we saw Leonardo as the Hunchback, Michelangelo as the Mummy, and for the first time we saw Donnie as the Invisible Man, and also the beautiful Judith Hoag, inspired Bride of Frankenstein, and the Monster Hunter with Splinter as Van Helsing. So before we leave Neca behind, I want to talk to you about something that I was actually very surprised to see in the booth of Neca, which was one of my childhood favorites. Baby Dinosaur and Earl Sinclair to actually be done as figures got me really excited, and I hope they make the whole family, but just to see that on the booth was really amazing. They look really big and amazing. So let's begin with Super7. We were delighted to see Super7's booth. They had the Ultimate Wave 1 of G.I. Joe. In there, the final product of the 4 figures, the Bat Army Builder, Duke, classic cartoons Snake Eyes and Timba, and Cobra Commander. Brian Flynn actually mentioned that those figures are in the final adjustment stage and we will have them very soon. And my favorite, of course, of those figures is Cobra Commander. I was amazed to see those colors in the figure, really bright colors. I really enjoyed it. Speaking of Cobra, did you catch what Super7 did in San Diego? They transformed their store into the Cobra Recruitment Center. If you were there in San Diego, you were able to step in that store and see all of the products related to Cobra. We obviously saw some reaction glow-in-the-dark G.I. Joe reaction figures that I thought they were really cool, and you could get the ultimate exclusive San Diego Comic-Con VAT figure. And also, for those who have been backing the Haslab His Tank, well, Super7 did their own thing, His Tank shirt that will look really cool next to your Haslab His Tank. In their booth, they also showed the brilliant glow-in-the-dark brothers. Absolutely amazing to see those figures, because I recently did a review on Mutagen Man, and I was really amazed to see the different ways you can pose the figures. So I was going to pass on these glow-in-the-dark turtles, but now I am really debating in my head whether to get them or not, because one of the cool features is that the belts are color coded to each turtle. So I also passed on the foot soldiers, but now I don't want to pass on, at least have my favorite turtle, which is Leonardo. Another cool thing that I saw was Brian Flynn showing off the production sample of Wave 5 Ultimates TMNT. And boy, to see that Samurai Leo was really amazing, or that humongous box of Leatherhead. And also we got to see Ray Filet, which I pre-ordered along with Sewer Samurai Leo. Leatherhead, unfortunately, I didn't pre-order, but a friend of mine did. So at least I will be able to see it. I was also amazed to see from the Thundercats Ultimates line, which was of course Mandora and her super cool, humongous Electrocharger, which obviously both I have in pre-order. We didn't see in the booth the actual final product. We only saw a unpainted sample just to see that size was absolutely amazing. You can fit 2 figures in the Electrocharger, and obviously I'm going to place Lionel being hugged by Mandora and going out for a ride like that is going to be amazing. Another thing that stood out from Super7's booth was the Simpsons Ultimate Wave 3 characters, which they showed in unpainted way, which were Monty Burns, Ralphie, and the 2 aliens, Kodos and Kang. Maggie as well as an alien. But obviously, what stood out from that were the aliens. I haven't pre-ordered them yet, but I'm really tempted to do so because seeing their actual size, and I also saw a picture where they compare these aliens with Godzilla figures from Super7 and Toxic Crusaders, and aliens were towering them completely. It's going to be really difficult to pass on these amazing aliens. So let's talk about another company, Tamashii Nations. And sadly for me, we didn't see much of SH Figuarts in the SDCC. We only got to see Android 19 and 20 and Videl and Gohan's daughter, Pan. So the display was really awesome because they had some really cool figures that they had already announced, but I was really sad to only see those figures in there. So another company present at SDCC was Hasbro. However, I didn't feel that they made a lot of announcements this year. There used to be a lot going on about Hasbro. Back in the day, it used to be a company that I was really familiar with, since I used to only collect Hasbro Marvel Legends, Marvel Universe, and even Star Wars 3 3/4 figures. However, I do collect Marvel Legends and Black Series from time to time, and there were some figures in the SDCC that really caught my eyes. Hot from the movie Thor Love and Thunder, in the SDCC we had a display by Hasbro. In the middle of that display there was a nice Mjolnir, and around the Mjolnir we got to see some of the figures that they already had announced before. Part of those figures included the Thor gold armor. They included Gore, which I would like to get, but if they do it in Hot Toys, I will be more than pleased. We got to see King Valkyrie, Ravager Thor, Jane the Mighty Thor, and Star-Lord, amongst other figures. But the one that mostly caught my eye was the Build-A-Figure core, that I would love to have that. So right off this amazing trailer that Marvel unveiled, which was Wakanda Forever, Hasbro has announced some action figures in the newly free plastic packaging. So the figures that they unveiled in the SDCC were Black Panther, Hatut Serase, Okoye, Nakia, Everett Ross, but the figure that I am most excited about is Namor. And I might be biased here, but from what you could tell from the trailer, they're going to do a Aztec or Mayan twist to the Atlanteans. I am really excited that they're going to do figures, they're going to produce figures around this character. Another announcement was the retro-carded Beast. What's different about him is the soft goods lab coat. I was really hoping that they made the X-Men animated Beast. Right now I'm collecting those figures. As you can see here, I have already started collecting Jubilee, Wolverine, and Beautiful Storm. But I guess I just have to wait a little longer until they announce or they produce the X-Men animated Beast. Another one was a big announcement, monumental announcement. I'm talking about the Haslav Galactus. I was one of the backers last year, and I can't wait to get it this year. And of course, it brings 3 amazing heralds, which are the Silver Surfer, Frankie, and Morg. And also, I pre-ordered Firelord. And I already have Terrax, and I know that Hasbro has announced also a 2-pack where you can again have Terrax if you haven't been able to get it. I cannot wait to display in my shelf. It's going to be intimidating. It will devour your shelf space. We'll be doing a review and I will be showing it to you guys. Another license from Hasbro, which is Star Wars. I honestly didn't see anything in the SDCC, probably because I didn't pay attention to to what was going on with Star Wars. And honestly, since what happened with the Rancor, I have lost a lot of interest in what the team of Star Wars and Hasbro is doing. You just don't know what they're going to do, or if they're really going to pull through with all of those brands that they have. I mean, for example, I do have SH Figure Star Wars, and I complement my collection with Black Series from Hasbro, but since they do a lot of repaints, it's no longer exciting for me to buy. But if I do see something, I will tell you eventually. I will let you know if I see anything exciting. A company that I usually don't talk about, but I do own a couple of figures. I'm talking about Iron Studios, a really cool company based in Brazil, and they produce obviously amazing, beautiful statues. We had already seen a preview of in the TMNT line of the four brothers. They look absolutely amazing. But in the con we saw Casey Jones, the statue of Casey Jones, April O'Neil, the beautiful April O'Neil, ready for a scoop. I didn't expect to see was the Age of Apocalypse line from the X-Men that Iron Studios brought to show us. And I was really excited to see Rogue in her Age of Apocalypse suit, Colossus, Storm, Apocalypse himself, absolutely humongous statue. So I'm really delighted to how these statues are going to really look like. So let's finish off with Hot Toys, my main line in my collection. And there were several feature Hot Toys, and I'm gonna list some of them that were there. So for example, Spider-Man, black suit, maskless, the one that fought against Sandman and Electro in the movie No Way Home. Doctor Strange, the lizard is just going to come with like a base, like a diorama. It's not going to be the complete figure, but it really looks cool. Also, we have the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. Really excited to evaluate if I'm going to purchase him. That's my favorite Spider-Man out of in the movies. And we have also Tobey Maguire from 2002, the Spider-Man. And we got to see Spider-Man the upgraded suit. Half of the movie we saw Tom Holland wearing this cool Spider-Man suit, and we also saw Zombie Iron Man, which just came out in the movie Far From Home. And obviously the drones we already had seen, and they're already up for pre-order. The drones, if you really want to spice up your Far From Home Hot Toys collection. I used to be a completionist in this line, but since we are having very expensive Hot Toys right now, I have to pick and choose really in my collection. So I am not for the Far From Home display. I only have Spider-Man and Mysterio. I think they are the main characters, so I will just stick with that. And then we have Venom, absolutely amazing figure. I have him in pre-order, but I still have to think about other figures. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna keep him in pre-order or not, but I shall tell you in due moment. And of course, Carnage, absolutely amazing, really big, really detailed figure of Carnage. We have seen previews before, and we saw it there in the con. Absolutely amazing, wonderful figure. If you are able to get it, you have the money to get this figure, I am the first to tell you, go and get it. Moving on, we also had a preview of Iron Man Mark IV with the suit up gantry. I do have the original, the first Hot Toys release of that Iron Man 4 suit up gantry, and it's one of my favorites and featured figures in my collection, but this time is going to be the 1/4 scale version, not the one that I have, but the 1/4 scale version, which is, imagine if mine looks really cool, imagine in a bigger size. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, what, this is probably the most amazing figure that will give Falcon an inferiority complex. I'm talking about the amazing Vulture, a long due figure. Fans of this figure, fans of the Homecoming movie, have been waiting years for that, because they already announced it, they already teased it years ago, and we've been waiting and waiting, a little bit like the Gamora Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which fans were waiting and waiting desperately to have that figure, and in the end it came out. We have Moon Knight. Oh, I don't think there's anybody that didn't enjoy that amazing Disney Plus series, and I was the first to click pre-order when the Hot Toys figures came out. Without second thoughts, I would pre-order also Steven. And of course, we have Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. I already have Kate Bishop on pre-order, and don't doubt it for a second that I will also pre-order Hawkeye, just to complete those two. And if we get also figures like the Kingpin that showed up, I will also pre-order it. And also we got to see from the What If series last year, we saw in the SDC the Marvel Zombie Captain America, T'Challa Star-Lord, Spider-Man with his cool cape. We also saw a preview of the Hydra Stomper in there. He was towering the other Hot Toys there. It looked really amazing. For some time I had him in pre-order, but I had to take him off because obviously there are other figures that I'm looking forward to have. For the Eternals, we got to see two Eternals, talking about Thena and Gilgamesh. If they don't make the other Eternals, or at least if they don't make Cersei and Icarus, I don't think it's going to have any or much sense in your collections. And lastly but not least, we got to see the beautiful Hot Toys previews for the Marvel Disney Plus Loki series. And we got to see Loki in his normal suit, and obviously the absolutely amazing, beautiful Sylvie. I'm talking about Sylvie, the Hot Toys. I already have her in pre-order. I'm really looking forward to display and make the review of that amazing Hot Toys. So those are the all of the announcements for Hot Toys. I am really delighted. It's my main collection, as I said before. So thank you guys. So yeah, there were quite a few announcements today, and I only talked a fraction of I know a lot of things were going on in the SDCC, comics, other companies, many companies. Remember, 2 years without SDCC physically being present there. Obviously, for fans, it has been a really hyped up Comic-Con. And thank you for watching, really bearing with me all this time to watch this amazing review. And let me know in the comments which figures are you getting, which figures were you most impressed about. Tell me whether I should get more Hot Toys or more Super7 or more Neca. Tell me which is your best company, or the best that did the best performance, the best display in the SDCC. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, to give a like. And I'll see you next on Alan's Collection.